Place in the Euro Cup final. Italy to face Spain in another semi-final match. Namaskar and welcome to the news. My name is Mark Lin. Our top story is coming in from Uttarakhand. The BJP leader Pushkar Singh Dhami will take oath as the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand at the Raj Bhavan in Dehradun this evening, and thus Uttarakhand will now get a third Chief Minister in 4 months. He will be the 11th Chief Minister of the state. Dhami was elected as the leader of the BJP legislature party in Dehradun last evening. After the legislature party meeting, Dhami called upon the governor, Baby Rani Maurya, and staked claim to form the government. Now, the change of guard, it comes a day after Tirath Singh Rawat had resigned from the post. Born on the 16th of September in 1975 in Pithoragarh, in Pithoragarh district, Pushkar Singh Dhami is a two-time MLA from the Khatima constituency in the Kumaon region of the Hill State. He was also a worker of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. Well, Pushkar Singh Dhami, the newly elected Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, in an exclusive interview to Doordarshan said that the state and the centre have been coordinating development work in Uttarakhand. The Chief Minister further said that development work in the state will be taken forward.
उत्तराखंड के अंदर बहुत सारे काम मोदी जी की सरकार लगातार कर रही है, चाहे हम ऑल वेदर रोडों की बात करें, चाहे कर्णप्रयाग ऋषिकेश रेलवे लाइन की बात हो या बागेश्वर रेल लाइन की सर्वे की बात हो, चाहे हमारे जो है भारतमाला प्रोजेक्ट हो। अभी कोरोना के समय में तमाम जगह पर 2-2 हॉस्पिटल ऋषिकेश और हल्द्वानी में बनाए जा रहे हैं। ऐसे बहुत सारे काम, चाहे जल जीवन मिशन में हो, हर घर को नल की योजना हो, केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा और हमारे सरकार की 4 साल की योजना में बहुत सारे काम हुए हैं। उन्हीं कामों को आगे बढ़ाना है। कोरोना के कारण से बहुत सारी स्थितियां हमारे सामने बड़ी कठिन खड़ी हो गई हैं। उन सब में जो है कोशिश करेंगे कि हर प्रकार से लोगों को राहत मिले, नौजवान युवाओं को रोजगार मिले। उस दिशा में काम करेंगे। जो पद खाली हैं जल्दी से जल्दी उनको भरेंगे।
Pushkar Singh Dhami there, the Chief Minister designate of Uttarakhand. He'll take oath later today and then he will be the 11th Chief Minister of the state. Urmilesh is joining us with more on the story. Well, Urmilesh, what are the arrangements for the... You've spoken exclusively to Pushkar Singh Dhami. What are the arrangements for the swearing in and, what is expected to be his cabinet?
जी मार्क, बस अब से कुछ समय बाद जैसे कि उत्तराखंड राजभवन ने हमें सूचना दी है कि लगभग 5 बजे के आसपास जो 11वें मुख्यमंत्री हैं उत्तराखंड के पुष्कर सिंह धामी, वो यहाँ पर शपथ लेंगे। और अभी तक जो हमें कल शाम तक ये सूचना आ रही थी कि कुछ नए चेहरे भी उनके साथ शपथ ले सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी इस तरीके की सूत्रों के द्वारा और तमाम जो पार्टी आला अधिकारी है, पार्टी के जो कार्यकर्ता है, उनके हवाले सब खबर आ रही है कि नहीं, सिर्फ जो है पुष्कर सिंह धामी ही अकेले जो अभी तक मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ लेंगे। साथ ही एक बात और है माँ की, पुष्कर सिंह धामी उत्तराखंड के 11वें मुख्यमंत्री होंगे, जो कि परसों जब तीरथ सिंह रावत ने संविधान के संकट की बात कर करके जो इस्तीफा दिया था राजभवन में महामहिम राज्यपाल को, उसके बाद से विधायक दल की बैठक हुई और पुष्कर सिंह धामी को यहाँ पर जो विधायक दल का नेता चुन करके उन्हें समय लिया था। पहले अटकले थे कि कल शाम ही वो शपथ लेंगे, नहीं कल फिर ये तय हुआ कि आज वो शपथ लेंगे और लगभग 5 बजे के आसपास उनके समय यहाँ पर शपथ का मुकर्रर किया गया है। अभी तक ये सूचना है माँ अपने दर्शकों को बता दें कि सिर्फ जो हमको बताया गया है कि केवल पुष्कर सिंह धामी ही यहाँ पर जो मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में शपथ लेंगे, अभी कोई और नया चेहरा नहीं होगा। लेकिन अभी आधिकारिक तौर से ये पुष्टि नहीं है कि सिर्फ पुष्कर सिंह धामी ही शपथ लेंगे या उनके साथ कोई और नया चेहरा भी होगा। मार्क,
Urmilesh, thanks for being with us. So Urmilesh says that as of now, only information is that Pushkar Singh Dhami will be taking oath as the Chief Minister, and after that we will get further information. But that is going to happen at 5 p.m. today. Moving on then, in its fight against COVID-19, India has been witnessing a continuous fall in the active caseload. The country's active caseload declines to 4,85,350. Reports that 43,071 new cases have come in the last 24 hours. Also, the less than 50,000 daily new cases have been reported now for 7 continuous days, and the net decline of 10,183 was witnessed in the last 24 hours. The active cases are now just 1.59% of the total cases, positive cases that the country has seen since COVID started. So the daily recoveries, they continue to outnumber the daily new cases, and this is for the 52nd consecutive day. 52,299 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. So far, 2,96,58,078 total recoveries were reported across the country. The recovery rate further improved to 97.09%. The weekly positivity rate has remained below 5% and is at 2.44% currently. So the daily positivity rate, it stands at 2.34%. And if we take, a limit of 5% and below, it's been below 5% now for 27 consecutive days. The COVID-19 testing capacity also has, continues to increase overall. So when we take the total figure, the cumulative figure from the beginning of all testing, 41 crore 82 lakh tests were conducted so far, and 18,38,490 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours. Well, India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded the 35 crore mark. Over 35 crore 12 lakh 21,000 vaccine doses have been administered through 46 lakh 4,925 sessions. The Health Ministry said in a statement that the new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination, which commenced on June 21 now since then, more than 63 lakh 87,000 vaccine doses have been administered as of yesterday. The ministry also said that over 42 lakh 8,000 vaccine doses were administered as a first dose, and more than 21 lakh 78,000 vaccine doses were given as a second dose. And this is, we're talking about the age group of 18 to 44 years. Now, as per the new guidelines issued by the government of Karnataka, malls and shopping complexes are allowed to operate from today. Malls are set to open from tomorrow and preparations are underway. Sanitization process has been carried out by the mall management. Most of the workers in the malls have all been vaccinated. These are the precautions being taken.
We have prepared very well, so all it is sanitized good, and we have kept mask also for customer. Without mask we'll be not allowing customers also, and we have kept a proper sanitization in the store, and we have cleaned completely, and only vaccinated people can be allowed in the mall as well.
In the mall, who are all working, almost 3,250 employees are there. More than 3,000 employees are vaccinated. Okay, so only vaccinated people we have allowed inside the mall. Means who are all the employees, salesmen, security, housekeeping, whoever it is. And some are around 100 or 200 people are not vaccinated. Tomorrow we are setting up the one vaccination counter here. So whoever is the mall employees, first we will give them the vaccination. Then another 10 days we are going to be continue with the vaccination drive. Whoever comes to the mall, they can get the vaccination also. These are all our plan too.
We are also following all the social distancing COVID protocols, and even our team is also 100% vaccinated. So we are hoping like good customers from tomorrow.
Well, all public transport has been allowed to operate to full seating capacity. All educational institutions, tutorials, colleges, however, remain closed until further orders. Aisha Khanam is joining us with the details. Well, so it seems to be a cautious opening there in Bengaluru, Aisha. And in Karnataka. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Well, Mark, this is the third phase of very calibrated unlock that the Karnataka government had announced. And yesterday's announcement, as we saw, the announcement to open the malls has given a big relief to all the shops inside the malls. And also the fact that the Karnataka government has taken a decision to do away with the weekend curfew. This was one of the biggest step that the business establishments feel the government has taken, giving them a huge relief. However, the night curfew will remain from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. onwards. So Karnataka is seeing a positivity rate of about 2%. And the government is very cautious about the fact that it is giving relaxations in the guidelines in all those districts which have positivity rate less than 5%. So, and those districts which are reporting positivity rate above 5%, the government has not relaxed norms in those districts. But Karnataka government says that with the vaccination drive being aggressive by the state government, over 44 to 45% of population is vaccinated with at least one dose. So Karnataka has kind of set a record for itself by vaccinating over 2.8 crore population in the state and hopes to vaccinate the entire population by the year end. And also the fact that the schools and colleges have not opened. However, the government is making all arrangements to conduct the examination for the SSLC.
Okay.
That is a class 10 board exam by the state, which will be held on 19th July and 22nd. So government is of the view that before it opens the education establishments and colleges, all the students should get vaccinated. So all arrangements are being made to conduct vaccination camps for the students in their respective colleges from Monday onwards. So government
Yes.
taking very cautious measures in view of the new Delta Plus variant also hitting Karnataka
Yes.
with over 4 to 5 cases in the state. So it does not want to let go of the guard and taking all these precautionary measures and announcing the unlock step by step.
Right. Thanks very much, Aisha Khanam, for those inputs. So unlocking in Karnataka, but calibrated and with lots of precautions. Moving on then, Kerala's complete weekend lockdown continues today. However, essential services are functioning during the weekend lockdown. Along with this, only necessary travel has been allowed. With a decline of 194 cases in the last 24 hours, the state has now around 1 lakh cases of COVID-19. Temples in Tamil Nadu will reopen for devotees from tomorrow after a COVID-19 induced closure during the last 2 months. And following this, work is in progress to clean up the 4 chariot roads around the Rameshwaram Ramanatha Swami temple and the Agni Tirtha beach, the main places of pilgrimage for devotees in Tamil Nadu. As the nation continues to achieve success in tackling COVID-19, registering a sharp decline in the number of cases reported daily, the weekly average test positivity rate for COVID-19 in Chennai has gone below 1% for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The weekly average TPR for June 26 to July 2 has been registered at 0.99%. The weekly average TPR touched a high of 23.2% during the period of May 10th to 16th period. And before that, the weekly average test positivity rate, that is TPR, had reached a low of 1.3% in mid-February. As a massive tree plantation program started from the 1st of July to the 7th of July, the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, he visited the ongoing drive at Sultanpur, and the Chief Minister said that under this massive tree plantation program in Uttar Pradesh, the target, he said, is to plant 30 crore saplings in this year. And under this 25 crore saplings are targeted to be planted on the 4th of this month. The remaining 5 crore plants will be according to rainfall in July.
1 जुलाई से लेकर के 7 जुलाई तक वन महोत्सव के इस कार्यक्रम के अवसर पर हम लोग प्रदेश के हर जनपद में, हर ग्राम पंचायत में, हर मोहल्ले में वृक्षारोपण के इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाने का कार्य करेंगे। आज 30 करोड़ से अधिक वृक्षारोपण का एक कार्यक्रम प्रदेश के अंदर 100 करोड़ का वृक्ष भी लगाने जा रहा है। इस अवसर पर मैं आप सबको बधाई देता हूं।
The Army Chief General M.M. Naravane will be on a visit to the United Kingdom and Italy from the 5th to the 8th of July. He'll be meeting his counterparts and senior military leaders of both the countries. The Army Chief will meet the Secretary of State for Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of General Staff and other dignitaries in the United Kingdom. And he will also be visiting various army formations where he will exchange ideas on issues of mutual interest. And during the second leg of his visit, which is on the 7th and 8th, he'll be visiting Italy. He'll hold important discussions with the Chief of Defense Staff there, the Chief of Staff of the Italian Army as well, and also he'll be inaugurating the Indian Army Memorial in the town of Cassino. The Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal will launch the National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. That is called Nipun Bharat. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's a virtual ceremony, and a short video anthem and also implementation guidelines of Nipun Bharat will be launched during this program. The School Education Department officials and all states and union territories and other senior officials and heads of institutions, they will all be attending this event. Nipun Bharat is a part of a series of measures which are moving towards the implementation of this of the National Education Policy 2020, which was released, in fact, about 1 year ago in July, the end of July last year. Now, Nipun Bharat aims at equipping every child with the desired competency in reading and writing and numeracy, and this is going to happen by the time they reach grade 3. The target is by 25-26 that happen this by the year 2025-26, and it is being implemented by the Department of School Education and Literacy, and it's through a 5-tier mechanism. These mechanisms include the national level, then the state level, the district level, the block level, and the school level, and it's across the country, all states and union territories. It's under the aegis of the centrally sponsored scheme, which is called Samagra Shiksha. Now, whatever you are doing, put your whole mind into it. That's Swami Vivekananda. And well, the nation pays homage to Swami Vivekananda, the stalwart of spirituality of our country, on his death anniversary. Now, Swami Vivekananda was one of the greatest spiritual leaders of our country. He inspired the youth to become better, to lead a life of purity, to set an example for the world. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu paid rich tributes to one of the most celebrated spiritual leaders, Swami Vivekananda. In a tweet, the Vice President said, and I quote, "Swamiji was a passionate nationalist, a visionary thinker, outstanding orator, intellectual, extraordinary. He strove to promote universal brotherhood and world peace. He was a great exponent of Hinduism. He played a monumental role in drawing the world's attention towards our great nation and its rich culture. His iconic life and valuable teachings continue to be a guiding light for all." The Union Home Minister Amit Shah paid tributes to Swami Vivekananda. In a tweet, Amit Shah said, and I quote, "Swami Vivekananda is not just a person but an immortal thought and a prosperous lifestyle." The Home Minister said Swami Vivekananda considered untouchability and casteism as a major obstacle in nation building. He said that he awakened new consciousness among the youth and inspired them to contribute in building a strong India. He said, "Swami Vivekananda is synonymous with Indians' infinite knowledge and energy and paved the way for upliftment and welfare of mankind along with the nation with his teachings, inspiring thoughts and efforts. He brought the philosophy and culture of India to the world." The Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar paid rich tributes to Swami Vivekananda. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "Swami Vivekananda gave the message of peace and equality to the world and illuminated and inspired everyone's life." Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended warm greetings to the U.S. President Joe Biden and the people of the U.S. on their 245th Independence Day of the United States today. He said that as vibrant democracies, India and the U.S., they share values of freedom and liberty. Our strategic partnership has a truly global significance. A C-130 plane of the Philippines Air Force crashed in Bangkal, Patikul, Sulu today. The Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief Cirilito Sobejuna has confirmed this, and there were 92 people on board. The rest were Army personnel. They were reporting for duty. Rescue operations were ongoing when reports last came in. Israel's military said that its aircraft that was launched as a retaliatory airstrike, they had launched retaliatory airstrikes in the Gaza Strip and had shot down a suspected Palestinian assailant. Meanwhile, the Palestinian officials also confirmed that 20-year-old Mohammed Hassan was killed after being shot by Israeli military. In Gaza, Israeli jets struck a weapon manufacturing facility and a rocket launcher in response to incendiary balloons sent from Palestinian enclave into Israel. Since May 21, ceasefire ended 11 days of fierce Israel-Hamas fighting. Palestinians in Gaza have sporadically launched balloons laden with incendiary material across the border, causing fires that have burnt fields in Israel. Let's catch up with a global update now on COVID-19. So far, more than 18.42 crore people worldwide have been infected with COVID-19. The recovery rate has crossed 16.86%. The disease has claimed over 39.88 lakh lives globally. The US continues to be the worst affected country, and the number of cases there stand above 3.45 crores. The country also has lost 6.21 lakh people due to COVID. In sports, England thumped Ukraine, in fact, in Rome. They set up the Euro 2020 semi-final clash against Denmark. The Ukraine barely threatened England and were on their way to the second successive semi-final because Harry Maguire powered home a header from Luke Shaw's free kick seconds after the break, and the outstanding Shaw was the creator once more 4 minutes later with a perfect cross that was headed in from 6 yards by Kane. England were so impressive as they simply overpowered Ukraine, with substitute Jordan Henderson getting the fourth when he arrived with perfect timing to head in Mason's Mount corner. England kept their fifth successive clean sheet to maintain their record of not conceding a goal at the Euro 20. They will now meet Denmark in the last four at Wembley on Wednesday. Denmark's impressive and emotional Euro 2020 campaign, it continued. They marched to the semi-finals courtesy of victory over the Czech Republic in Baku. It was led from the 5th minute by Thomas Delaney, who evaded his marker to head in from a corner. The continual threat on the break, they made it 2-0 just before half-time, with Kasper Dolberg volleying in a superb cross from Joachim Mæhle to add to the 2 goals that he had scored against Wales. Their momentum was checked early in the second half by Patrick Schick, coolly volleying the 5th goal of the tournament, taking him level now, in fact, to Cristiano Ronaldo in the race for the Golden Boot. Denmark were able to recompose themselves and dig in to ensure the victory and a semi-final at Wembley on Wednesday. So that was the Euro Cup 2020 and the semi-final lineup, which matches will be played on Wednesday. That's all we have on this bulletin. Thank you very much for joining us, but the COVID situation is still on, and we are continuing with our campaign of mask up. Masking up is important. I have not been wearing my mask in the studio because I'm alone, but you know, as I'm going to leave the studio now, I will be putting on my mask, and so this mask is important. It protects you, protects everyone around you. And also, in case you are not vaccinated, please vaccinate yourself. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.
हर जोखिम से निकल कर फसल आए, सुरक्षित हो जाए। फसल बीमा से हर किसान अब आत्मनिर्भर हो जाए।
अब सूखा पड़े या बाढ़ आ जाए, कोई डर नहीं।
अब ओले पड़े या कीट पतंगे फसल खा जाए, कोई फिक्र नहीं।
अब कैसी भी आपदा हमारी फसल पे आ जाए, क्षति होने पर हमारे दावों का उचित भुगतान मिलता है, क्योंकि हमने लिया है प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा।
बुआई से फसल कटाई तक हर जोखिम का दावा, न्यूनतम प्रीमियम पर अधिकतम भुगतान का वादा।
योजना से हर साल जुड़ रहे हैं 5 करोड़ से ज्यादा किसान। अब आपकी है बारी।
नजदीकी कृषि कार्यालय, सहकारी समिति, बैंक शाखा, अधिकृत बीमा कंपनी या जन सेवा केंद्र में स्वेच्छा से करा सकते हैं पंजीकरण।
फसल बीमा पोर्टल या फसल बीमा ऐप द्वारा भी किया जा सकता है पंजीकरण।
प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, आपकी फसलों का संपूर्ण सुरक्षा कवच। कृषि एवं किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार।
हमारा यहाँ प्रकट होना ही इस बात का प्रमाण है कि दुष्ट को उसकी दुष्टता का दंड अवश्य दिया जाएगा। बोलिए श्री महागणेश की
Have we decoded thread of virus, the speed at which it is going to now escalate, multiply? Are we now under control? Do we know what we are dealing with COVID-19 now?
We should be actually anticipating in a way the third wave will come. The question to us, and you rightly ask, what will it take us that we do not have a resurgence?
Has this actually served as a wake-up call finally?
Virus will mutate. We need every citizen of India to fight honestly. Don't put everything on government. You make the country.
Namaste land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
Pushkar Singh Dhami to be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand and will take the oath of office as the 11th Chief Minister of the state today. New cases of COVID-19 on the decline. 3,071 cases reported in the last 24 hours. The total active cases have declined to 4.85 lakh. The recovery rate has climbed to over 97.09%. Leaders across the country pay tribute to Swami Vivekananda.